Surrounded by. I am surrounded by.
I'm often surrounded by.
The entire system is surrounded by
Freaking idiots.
Surrounded by them.
idiots.
Yeah. You know, I actually had a really good haircut in Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't trust niggas in LA, but you trusted somebody in Brazil?
Yeah. No, bro. I was actually very surprised because I went there day of. He took me in, and you know I've been going through this thing with my hair anyway because I feel like my hair is thinning or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But when he started like combing my hair and everything, I'm like, damn, my hair ain't never been like. You know, in some places they'll wash your hair, they give you a little extra, but like, no, they like washed my hair, conditioned it, blow dried it, combed it out, hot, like whatever they did, it was just like,
wow.
And then when he got finished with my haircut, I was like, damn, I didn't even know I had that much hair.
Right. I mean, probably the process of taking care of the hair.
Yeah.
Is probably a whole different thing.
Yeah.
See, that's dope, and that was probably just in the price, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, out here we be
Yeah.
nickel and diming. Oh, you want your beard washed?
Bro,
Extra $15.
And here go the crazy part. We paying like $100 a cut nowadays.
Right.
For real, for a good cut. That cut cost me $25 in Brazil.
What part of Brazil?
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
I went there one time. I was there
Yeah.
for the when they had the World Cup out there, the trials for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Sao Paulo's fire.
Did you ever been out there for Carnival?
No. You was out there for Carnival?
Yeah, I was out there for a gig with you ever heard of Riot Games?
Riot Games?
Yeah.
Like the
Esports?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Esports tournament. So I was there working out there with them for like a month in like February, and we just so happened to be out there at the same time as Carnival. I think the actual big Carnival happens in where is it at? Because we was in Sao Paulo. The big,
Rio.
Okay. Rio. So, but we was in Sao Paulo, but it was just as massive. It was actually insane.
Oh, I know. You were like, wait, I'm out here doing what? What?
Yo,
now?
and it was just like one day of fun. Like
that's crazy.
We had like one day off or whatever, and we went to like the stadium. So you go into the stadium, you seeing like all like the parades or whatever, all the schools dancing and competing, and it's like a big NASCAR stadium type of feel.
Yeah.
And then that's the outside. What the audience is on the inside is different levels of different like live bands. Yo, they had like alcohol dispensers on the wall. You walk up with a cup and just go shh.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it was no bartenders. You just grab as much liquor as you want.
And what is Carnival what exactly is it? Like why is it such a big party?
I forget, but they do it every year. I think every year.
Let me see.
We might have to look into
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Let's start searching some
it's
stuff.
definitely it's something very
Festival.
important.
It's crazy. You type in Carnival. What's this? Carnival cruise? Nigga, you trying to go on a low price cruise?
Yeah, man.
Carnival is a festive season that takes place in many countries, usually in February or March, before the start of Lent. It's a time for celebration and partying, with parades, street parties, musicians, and dancing. Some believe that Carnival originated as the Roman festival of Saturnalia. I'll let you help me read this. Saturnalia, and that it's older than Lent. It's older than Lent? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything I just described.
So I guess it's like, let's get one more freak off out.
Yeah.
Before we go give up whatever for Lent.
Yeah. So I went to one before in Toronto, and we actually planned to go out there.
Okay.
We went to the Carnival in Toronto, and it was a good time. It was great.
Right.
But the one in Brazil,
different.
Yo, I did not know what I was walking into. Like, I was overwhelmed. It was so many people.
That's crazy.
And this is just, just whether it's on the streets or an organized event, like, it was just so many people. And then, like, the culture is just so nice and open. They let us come in and, like, I can't dance. I was up there dancing with them, though.
You were lit. You were having a good time.
Oh man. Yeah.
What did you have? Did you drink their beer? Was it Brava?
I tried pretty much anything, and that's the thing about me. When I go out of the country, I try everything, but I don't know. I definitely tried a few drinks.
What is
I think
it?
it's a capaina.
Brahava.
You ever heard of that?
Was
Capaina or something?
Capelina? What's that?
Capaina. I can't pronounce it. It's a Brazilian drink.
A Brazilian drink?
Capaina. Capaina.
Famous Brazilian drinks.
I'm probably saying it so wrong.
I can't say whatever that is either.
That-
Which one? Oh, the
Caprahina.
Caprina. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's how I'm probably saying it so wrong.
Caprina.
Caprina.
It's a refreshing drink that goes great with warm weather. Slice of lime and half lengthwise. I don't need all that. Just what liquor's in it?
That's what I'm trying to see.
The Caprina is unclear.
Tequila, sake. I guess they make it. It can make it a few different ways, but
Oh, Brazil's national spirit. So it's this stuff. Caraca, whatever that is.
yeah.
It's distilled national spirit, which is distilled from fermented sugar canes. It's similar to rum, but sweeter, and has a unique flavor.
It's almost like a mojito.
Oh, okay.
Almost, but not.
Without the minty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's definitely a very like refreshing drink. I've drank so many of those out there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, those are fire, man.
So wait, so what were you doing out there for the esports thing?
For esports, it was it was a gaming tournament. It was my first time even like it was my first time even knowing about the industry, esports.
Right.
Like that's a huge industry.
Oh, bro. I think Twitch, all that stuff. That's where the Mr. Beasts, the Tyson, they come from that. Then it's just their personalities take over. But.
It's crazy though, because it's like teams compete all across the world. The game was called. You ever heard of Valorant?
Oh yeah, I've heard of Valorant.
Yeah, so it was like teams compete across the world. I think maybe a team of maybe five people. It's like 20, 30 teams, and
That's
it's like
crazy.
Within that season they're doing. They pretty much are competing for the championship bragging rights, essentially, right? But for that, I was just doing playback. I was pretty much helping with the music side of things, and pretty much just triggering all the tracks for the music. You know, commercial breaks, mood musics.
Okay.
You know, just kind of pretty much like a commercial or like a tournament or a game show type of feel. Like the person that you hear playing that music, being on cue, I was that person.
So how does that even work? Like the system of doing a show. Like right now you're on tour with Future and Metro, right? Mm-hmm. And so like what's your position? Like how does the playback work? Like how do normal fans hear the music, and how does that sync up with what they're doing, and how are you involved?
Okay. So with Future and Metro, I'm doing backline teleprompter.
Okay. And what's that?
Well, I guess we shouldn't put that out there, but no, like not to say anything like that, but a lot of artists use teleprompters.
Oh well,
they
right,
have
because
so much music.
So much music,
Yeah.
especially when you were coming out with mixtapes for how long? You were doing,
And I grew up listening to Future, so this man has so much music. So
and
he's
comedians do this too. Like they'll have either a teleprompter or like keywords, so they know where they need to go next. Like I might not need to read my whole verse, but I might need to. All right, kiwi. Kiwi the butter is butter.
and then with that point too, right? It's like, and being, excuse me.
Get some of that agua.
Mm-hmm. So with that, doing teleprompter, it's the thing where they don't want, just in any gig if I've ever done it, they try to hide the fact that they're the teleprompter. Right. And it's like, well, I get why you want to do it, because people would think, oh man, you don't know your lyrics. But let's think about this, people.
Yeah.
How many albums this dude got?
literally. And it's not like he's just doing the greatest hits. Like come on, bro. It's a lot
And no, and you can like, he really like, and is actually very impressive. Like he actually still knows his music. You know what I'm saying? Like he walks all on the thrust, and he performs.
Right.
But that's how that helps. In that gig, I do backline and teleprompter. So with backline, I work directly with the DJs. I make sure all the DJs are set up. Pretty much teching. I'm also working with the time code. So time code keeps everything in sync. But when it comes to playback that I've done with other gigs, as well as autotune, I'm using Ableton, programming the music, and pretty much keeping everything in sync. Sending a metronome to the band, sending autotune for the artist vocals. Sending MIDI to the DJ, so if he triggers the song, and everything's time coded, So once the music goes, the light goes, the video goes, you know, everything's in sync.
Oh,
That's
so
the magic.
I didn't even know that was how that was, because I've always wondered how that goes. But right, if you're sending the sync and the time code through Ableton, then in the MIDI,
Yep.
so it's always
time sync. So you would be in the audience like, man, how the hell did they do that?
now. How undependable is MIDI though?
Undependable?
I feel like MIDI gets.
No, MIDI is actually pretty good. Yeah. So I run MIDI over Ethernet. So through an Ethernet cable, not just MIDI for USB.
Oh, okay, I'm thinking of just basic MIDI cables, and I'm like they're like old school, like with the prong that like that would use.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not even a USB cable would be used on that.
Okay, see that's
Yeah, because past 25 feet, it gets real spotty.
It gets spotty. There you go. Yeah, that's what I meant.
If I'm sending the Ethernet cable, real time, and you can send over 300 feet depending on the type of Ethernet cable.
Oh.
Imagine like these big like Beyonce stage concerts.
Right.
I'm sure she's using Playback. Imagine how far that you know, if she has she doesn't have a DJ, but you get the point.
But no, yeah, just
you know?
like front of house, like even how far they are gonna be away from the stage. Yeah.
So it just depends on the gig, but every gig is different.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
How did you even get into that? Because we met when you were doing Playback for Uzi, right?
Yeah, and I so around 2017, 2018 is when I really started.
Okay. Oh wow.
That. So I started a close friend of mine from college. They needed somebody to do backline for G-Eazy.
Okay.
So I came in, started doing backline. Never set up a drum a day in my life. My homie Blizzy, I set up his drums the first day upside down. He walked in the sound check like, yo, what the hell?
He was like, oh, my bad.
I flipped everything. Terrible at tuning drums. Like I had no experience whatsoever at this gig. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
Like, and it's so funny because when I get into the playback side of things, right? When we get there, it's just so funny how I got into this gig, didn't know a thing about setting up an instrument. They trusted me, right?
Right.
But as soon as I wanted, that's the funny thing about the industry, right? Once you're known for doing something, trying to switch to do something else.
No. You do that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
We want nothing else from you, sir. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what they didn't know was that I've always worked in music, coming into college doing sound design technology. Me doing backline was actually out of character for me.
Right.
But I was like, man, this could be an opportunity for me, you know. Yeah, why not?
Bigger picture.
So I did that for like 2 or 3 years, and then at one point they needed somebody to do playback, and I got into a point to where I was kind of getting depressed about doing a gig because I'm just like, man, I'm doing this. This isn't exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
I feel like a mule. I don't want to just be sitting here working. I want to be a part of a production. It was the time they went to Australia and left me because we could use the house backline again.
Right.
I did every gig except that one. It's still to this day.
Yeah,
hurts,
no,
you know?
well, because also you're like, oh, really? So you feel I'm that
disposable. Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, damn. And to this day, I ain't been in Australia.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I had to think about this. I had to really sit down and think about this. I was like, well, at this age in my career, I'm very young, right?
Right.
The engineering gigs are sold up. The lighting gigs are sold up. The video gigs are sold up. What else is there? Playback. Oh, I do this already.
Right.
So I learned it. My friend, a friend Fred, Nerdmatics.
Okay.
My man taught me how to do playback in 2 days.
You said, okay, I get it.
Yo, I went to this man's studio and we was doing dabs.
And learning playback.
Learning playback and programming for a tour.
Oh wow.
Right?
Okay.
I'm learning the ins and out of a system, of a rig, of equipment.
Okay.
And I'm also learning how to program music as well as doing dabs.
That's crazy.
But what was so crazy about it was like, yeah, we getting high, but we not wasting our time. You know, we learning, we focus. And I learned so much. At that day, every time he did anything on Ableton, it was a shortcut. I was like, what's that?
Right.
Wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just, after like a day of doing this, I've had like a list of shortcut keys. And I didn't even know Ableton that well, but I knew those shortcuts.
So you knew that's how you could get to where you need to go.
I was straight. And when they finally saw me, because at first when I said I wanted to do backline, they was hesitant. I mean, when I wanted to do playback, they was hesitant. They was like, And then when I was doing it, I mean, of course I made a few mistakes, right?
Right.
But it was good enough to the point to where I can get a show done, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was a full circle moment. It was like, man, you're really good at this, huh? I was like, yeah. But then I thought about it. I was like, not only have I done studio work, you know, I've done producing or whatever. Mm-hmm. At the same time, in college, I did playback for Cotton Club variety show.
Oh,
on GarageBand. I didn't know it was playback then.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I thought I was just
playing the music.
Yeah, right.
Little did I know I've already been doing this. It's just on a different scale.
That's very right? Very true. That's one of the gifts and curses of all of us having the tools to an extent to do things, because if you're not told, a lot of times you won't realize that what you're doing has value and even has a proper name.
Exactly.
And it kind of behooves people not to tell you that so they can not pay you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You'll sit there and you'll be like, oh, well, I'm just doing that. Well, yeah, there's another guy who's just doing that. And he's making just that. Yeah. And that's funny, man. But it all comes, I feel like it all comes full circle. Like, even when you're doing parts of the industry or things that you're like, why am I doing this? Mm-hmm. In the long run, you just know more things. And then when you set up your own productions, you already can tell before the drums are upside down that they're about to be upside down. Yeah. You know,
exactly.
Yep. You do every job in the store type thing.
Exactly. It's just building up, right? And that's one thing, especially this year, because this first year, I was telling you, like, it's been a hard year. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, why? You know, why this, why that? And I'm constantly, like, questioning it, right? I've gotten to a point to just accept and don't even question. Everything happens for a reason, right? I didn't really, of course I understood that, but it's different to feel that, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, it's like, well, okay, I'm gonna just go roll with these punches. Right. I find out later why it happened. And a lot of the times, I'm glad it went the way it went.
Facts, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
But no, you just have to take the time to trust it, because it always makes you engage a different muscle that you a lot of times don't want to engage. Mm-hmm. That's really what it is. Yeah. Adversity is nothing but like, okay, you're comfortable doing this, well, now try something else. Yeah. Like, shit. Okay.
It's the act of not being comfortable.
Literally.
You know? Mm-hmm. It's almost like if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? Yeah. and those experiences help you stay ready. When they're new experiences,
100%.
Like, I did this before.
Yeah, 100%. Or when you are in a good thing, you go, "Hey, this is a great thing. Yeah. Let me fucking make the most out of this and not fuck it off because I think another one's coming next week." No.
Exactly.
This is a good thing.
But I think that's the thinking of a lot of people, at least in our industry, right? Yeah. Because you could be at the top of the world at one point. Yeah. Then you could be at the bottom
quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly, because also it's like there's a million people clawing to get to the top. There's some people who are going to shoot up, shoot back down. There's other people who are going to come up, stay for a while, do something stupid, shoot back down. Mm-hmm. There's, the odds of there's not many Ushers in this world who just consistently can kind of just be. You
do anything, you make it great, huh?
Yeah, man,
you're like born to greatness.
And every year you give us something. When dance music was hot, your DJ had us falling in love again. Like, nigga, you just keep doing it. And
how are you so awesome?
Now you got a Vegas show. Like, okay, I guess
I've never seen Usher live, yo. I need to see Usher.
You've never seen Usher live?
I've never seen Usher.
So
live.
Check this out.
A lot of people.
I'm ready to make you feel terrible. Oh, so in the era when I was assigned to Jermaine, they did Confessions. So that was like, I was living with him 0405. And so,
what?
Yeah. So I ended up going to at least 6 confession shows. Like, I knew the light breaks, all the dance, like all the dance choreography. Like, I was, but it was crazy because in that era, I always tell people this, and I'm like, it's just mind blowing. His opening act was Kanye West. And Kanye had, this is the first time I actually, sadly say, but it was the first time I actually had heard all the songs off of College Dropout, and it made me go investigate and go download College Dropout. But this nigga had one of those spray painted backgrounds with the Chicago skyline, like you know exactly, like you used to see in the mall with the t-shirts, nigga. That's what he had. And this nigga would come out. He had like the whole, bro. He had like he was wearing like this
probably
like,
baggy clothes.
No, he wasn't in the. He was past the baggy clothes era.
Okay.
He was like, I want to say he was like prepping for he was gonna get a second album type deal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he started getting more into like the suits type deals, whatever. But it's kind of a baggier suit. It's not the tight.
Yeah.
He wasn't there yet. And he's out there. He's performing, and he's like, I want bring out my friend to help me do this next song. And then out comes John Legend to a fucking Casio keyboard on that morning. Yes, nigga. And I'm sitting there like
Kanye opening up with John Legend playing on keys to a Usher concert. This sounds insane.
It sounds insane. This was what was going on, bro.
Oh, wow.
And then they dropped the fucking, spray painted bullshit. And then Usher has a whole stage with stairs and shit behind that, obviously, because that's what I'm saying, like
Confessions. So the Confessions tour. So Kanye was still, you said, on his second album.
No, he was on his first album, going into his second album.
Oh man, so this.
But
is
it's early Kanye. But he was like, it's just funny because like John Legend was still around.
What was the crowd like? Was it like a packed crowd at the time when he came out?
Oh yeah.
Because
it was
like
packed.
Kanye should never have been in an empty, stadium.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't empty. It definitely wasn't empty. Because people who knew, but then like he still was like newer to people. But I mean, his energy, it was still a good show. Like I remember being like, this guy.
Damn.
Yeah.
I bet you wish you had a camera phone back then.
Man. Well, I wish I had a camera phone for the jet we took on the way there. But you know what?
Social media,
it wasn't there yet. No, I always think that I'm like, man, if there was social media in that era of my life, and then if there was social media after doing The Wire, like, nigga, I could get paid to just stream video games.
Yeah.
If, like, that were a thing when I did that. You know what I mean?
You working too hard.
Yeah, it was, well, but it wasn't even it wasn't a thing. So it was like, oh, no, you got to go either be on more TV or you got to go be.
I can only imagine how draining that was.
What?
Like just have to just film, and
it's not draining because you love doing it.
Yeah.
And also, it's like anything else. Like if you have your shit together and you know your lines and you hit your marks, and granted everybody else does it, like we can speed this up a little bit, you know.
That's
but
what professionalism is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get in, let's get out.
Let's get in, let's get out, but also let's make sure that we here doing what we need to do. And that's, and also it's like I just saw a clip of Denzel Washington where he was saying something about like, he was like, we're not, it's not hard making a movie. It's a luxury. He was saying that. And it's funny because I always say that. I'm like, when I meet actors who take like shit too seriously, I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. But like, we're not curing cancer here. Like, that's not what's going on here. We're trying to give someone their experience the best we can in front of them and show that they are represented in some form or fashion. Right. That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then there's some people who are great at it. There's some people who are mediocre at it. At the same time, that's what one kind of movie is. Another kind of movie is just like, hey, hot girl, hot guy, let's have them blowing shit up. You know what I mean? Like, there's level. It's more of like knowing where you fit. That's how I've always looked at it. Like knowing where you fit. Unless you're about to be that guy who's out here who's like a shapeshifter, you're a Daniel Day-Lewis type. If you're one of those, that's a different thing. But you know that it's Cuba Gooding Jr. doing radio. It's like, okay, he's stepping out the box. But if you're not doing that, it's mostly knowing like, oh, okay, how does this look on me?
It's the people who step out the box and still do it well, though.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. No, there's some. Sean Penn, incredible.
Like what?
You can even say Robert Downey Jr. Even look at Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
that's out the box.
Yeah,
and did it well. Like it's hard because the problem is once you step out that box, if it's not good, it's not good.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Like really bad.
Really bad. It's comically bad. And yeah, you don't want
You're gonna be
that.
the meme for the rest of the year.
Consistently. And yeah, you don't want those problems.
Oh man.
That's a big issue.
I used to want to act.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school for theater.
Oh, okay.
So I was a theater major with a concentration in sound design technology. So I had to take theater classes. I had to take acting classes. I did acting classes. You know,
Okay,
it was
yeah.
actually fun.
No, it's
Just transforming into a whole nother. You know, it's actually a thing.
stretching your personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's cool. It's funny. I've never understood. Sometimes I used to kind of laugh or somewhat in my mind kind of be like, people like to, you know, whether it's cosplay people or people who like to do like the what's the thing called, the like dress up like Dragon Ball Z anime Comic-Con type stuff. Oh, like I used to be like, I don't. But then I think somewhere in my 20s I started realizing like, oh no, bro, but like you're just fortunate you get to go to work and be somebody else. Get a wardrobe costume, do all this, and not be silly because you're working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I guess that is because I don't know what kind of person I would be if I didn't get to exercise that every once in a while. You know? Like, I can't imagine having like, oh, my normal life is I'm never told to just, I know this sounds crazy, but you're never just told to randomly play pretend. And, like what? Like have my humor and have my, like, comes from that. Like I can't imagine like, yeah, so I'm just me all day, all the time. It's never changed. No one's ever said, hey. Like, that's why those classes are probably fun.
Yeah.
You know?
And even just think about that. Like, I remember watching the Adam Sandler movie.
Okay.
And
Which one?
I think it was called
Click?
No, it was called it was with Kevin Garnett.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Fantastic movie.
Right? I've never seen Adam Sandler in this capacity.
Right. Well, you know what you got to watch?
What?
Did you ever watch Punch Drunk Love?
No.
Okay. It's same kind of darkness from Adam Sandler. But I know what you mean because until I had seen Punch Drunk Love, I was like, no, Adam Sandler's the silly guy.
Yeah.
And then you see that and you're like, oh.
Yeah. I actually like him better like that.
Yeah.
He looks like the stretched out middle-aged jeweler. He like fit the description so perfectly.
Bro, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, man, this nigga was tripping, bro. Like, you're going out the window to get to the casino so you can and the crazy thing is
movie. It was a very good movie. And it was one of those like, damn, I didn't expect that.
Well, it made me realize, like, you know how sick, like, there's people out there, like gambling is a sickness, bro. Yeah. Like, and it's the most costly one, because with most things, you fuck up your own money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, I like crack. Okay, so now you're going to go buy crack, and that's going to be what's fucking up your money, right? Okay, but at least you kind of feel like you got something out of no, you're just losing the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you like straight up, man, $1,000 on. Caitlin Clark's she's going to score 25 tonight. I know she's going to score 25. And then she fuck around, score 26. Well, you know what? Hey, look.
That's why I don't do none of that film doing shit.
Yo, bro, don't get started. I know. I got homies who, like my homie Chris Lofton. That nigga, he be smacking them every once in a while. That nigga will hit. I've seen he's gotten $40,000 about him and 30
really?
With like on parlays, but also he's told me, he's like, yeah, I don't always be winning. Like, he's like, you will lose. Like, it's part of he's like, my thing is I look at this. He looks at the overall number. As long as the overall number I've gotten from them is good, more than lost, right? What I've lost.
I was gonna start asking, like, do we tally? Because that's what I would do.
Yeah,
like, because I don't like losing money.
Who does?
No, I got frat bros and everything who like put a budget into losing money to go to Vegas. Like, I got a budget of $2,000 if I lose it. All right, what? No,
you're like, nigga, you know what we can do with that?
We can do a lot of
other shit. Let's all go in on a table or something.
Let's go on anything. I was about to say go on a cruise, but they don't want
yeah, not in Vegas. No.
Oh yeah, but yeah, gambling. Yeah, I mean, I played blackjack once or twice.
Right.
Enjoyed it. Went up, came down, and I was like, oh, okay. I won 150, left with 70. I was like, you know what? Let me get out of here.
I've done when I was 21, could go out there and gamble. I started doing the kind of like what you said, but I never went up to $1,000. It was like I got $100. Because that's all the ATMs give you out there fucking anyway, because they don't want you getting 20s and stuff. They want you to get the 100, so you break it at the table, and then maybe you make a bet. Mm-hmm. I know. I'm aware of their games. So I was like, all right, here's $100. I'm going to go play some blackjack. However this will get me. I got up to, I want to say, 250, and then left with nothing. And I was like, fair.
Real quick.
Cool. Like, I get it. I see what this is. It was nice having $250 in my pocket that I didn't really work for.
Yeah.
Or $150 at that point.
Yeah.
But it was like, but this is, no.
You got to know when to walk away, right? It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, I keep winning. When do I stop?
Yeah.
First L, I'm out.
But see, now, I don't like gambling because it hijacks my thought process on life. Because, see, what you just described in normal circumstances of life is bullshit. Oh, you're going to keep winning and then you take the first L and then, no, I'm going home. Like, you see what I'm saying? In that sense, it sounds like nonsense.
That's like playing dice and people are like, what you mean? I got to get my real. What you mean you out, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Like, nah. Yeah, see, that's another game. You can't do that outside.
Yeah.
That can get sticky.
Yeah.
That get real.
Yeah.
Let me win my money back. No, I want to keep your money. But but once you realize that, I'm like, I don't want to be gambling and thinking of gambling the way I think of life. Like, what, you're going to just quit when the going gets tough? Like, yes, nigga, that's what you should do in this situation.
Oh, I sound like a chump, don't I?
No, you sound smart. Because when it comes to finances, that is the intelligent thing to do.
Yeah.
This is why people, sometimes people, even in government, when they know something's about to happen, they cash their bets or they sell some stock.
Yeah.
It's just being smart.
Yeah.
But when you take that same thought process out of finance, it's almost terrible everywhere else, which is funny. And I've never realized that until we start talking about it.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a friend, it's like, oh, so when we were winning, you was always around, and then niggas started losing, and then you was out on the first L.
It's like a bandwagon fan, right?
It's a bandwagon fan.
Instantly.
Yeah. But in money, you should be a bandwagoner.
You should definitely be a bandwagoner. Follow the bag, brother.
Follow the bag.
That's
still recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it, I didn't even realize it's been 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's so funny? Your eyes for a second, because the way you look, you said, I was like, oh, shit. He's about to be like, nah, you didn't press record.
Yeah, I was looking I saw the time going. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I saw the audio. I'm like, okay, time going. We good.
See, that's the one caveat of this. It's like what Apple needs, not that they need me telling them what they need. They already know. They're probably prepping it for the iPhone 20. They could do it now, but for the iPhone 20.
Yeah.
Like, there should be, like, a light that lets me know, like, oh, hey, I'm recording.
Yeah.
And if that light stops blinking, But, you know.
Like that little flash that's right there, right?
Exactly. And it could be like that, like very dimly blink, you know.
You know, the funny thing about Apple that I realized, it's not they don't have the ability to do it. They just don't want to do it yet.
That's what I'm saying. That's why iPhone 20.
Yeah.
They can do it, bro. You know your first, did you have the first iPhone?
Shit.
You'd remember this. The iPhone 1.
Oh no!
With the black bottom, and it was round. The beginning of
what's crazy? I don't even remember what my first iPhone looked like. I remember for a while I had a Razor.
Okay.
That was like my first real cell phone.
You said that was my first real.
Because prior to I was doing prepaid. I had like Virgin Mobile prepaid phone.
Oh yeah, I remember those phones.
Like, how old was I when the first iPhone? I had to be like in like elementary school maybe.
Wait, how old are you?
31.
Oh, yeah, you are younger than me.
How old are you?
Full beard. Can't grow shit. This guy's 2 years younger than me. Fucking, yikes, yeah. His nigga talking about middle school. I'm like, nigga, I was a sophomore. What are you talking about? Yeah, I guess.
Gee, motherfuckers been making fun of me about beard since 8th grade, bro. I had a chin strap 8th grade.
You did? That's hilarious.
Literally like the chin strap.
But at least you could grow something, man.
I was like, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
You said cool. That guy. Do you remember that one? Yeah. If you are 2 years, you wouldn't have had this phone.
You know, I had what was it? The iPod Touch that looked
like this. Okay, yeah. They started making those later. So basically, I was saying this iPhone, if you jailbroke it.
Oh yeah, I remember jailbreaking phones.
Bro,
yeah.
I jailbroke this. It had a video camera on it.
Damn, you just ran me back.
Bro, it had a video camera. You could move the apps.
You could $99.
Well, because it's nostalgia at this point. Like if I was super just balling, I'd just have an iPhone. I'd have all the iPhones just on some I have all the iPhones. I'd put them in this room. This is my room that has all of my trinkets.
That's some sick rich shit.
Yeah, I mean,
stunt.
Good. I mean, look, Drake bought fucking Pharrell's whole chain collection just to stunt. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people just bought. Jerry Seinfeld bought 50 Porsches just to stunt. So
you could do so much more with that money.
Oh, you could, but here's the thing. That's what makes him happy. He also has a home in the Hamptons. So he feels like he's done what he needs to do. He just enjoy. But I feel you. You could do better things. But
that's drive all them cars.
Well, in 50 days I can. That's probably what he would say.
Like, so do you just go through and just gas up all these cars? Like, or you just gas up the one you want?
Usually people like that are creating jobs because what happens is they either like Jay Leno. Right. He doesn't keep all his cars in one place. He has places in I think Arizona and other places where they just keep the cars. It's like storage. Keep the cars that he's not driving, but they're being prepped every day. They're being ran. They're you know what I mean, and then they gas them up. It's a whole.
At least he's creating jobs.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't mad at that.
There's because if there weren't people with all those cars, right, or who didn't have collectibles, those people would be out of business. I mean, in theory, Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know how many of those jobs are black jobs. I'll tell you that. I don't know about that one.
Shit. You went there, huh?
I don't see too many. I would love to believe that there are, or I would like to know if there's a black guy, a wealthy black guy, phone in who has a bunch of cars. Is there the black company that does that? You know what I mean though? How there's always we're becoming into a time where in almost every industry there's at least, even if it's a very white industry, you got one black elite. So I would just wonder if there's oh no, this is black owned and operated since, and we've been keeping cars for, and then they go down their list of people and you're like, oh shit, we did Michael Jackson's cars type shit.
It actually might be, just don't know.
I would hope so, because that would be cool.
That's ask ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure we can figure it out.
Though they are no longer black owned and they are still black operated.
Did you ever think we'll reach an age in time where Google can become irrelevant?
Oh, and that's what Google is terrified of. That's why they want Gemini to work. Because
wait, what's Gemini?
Gemini is their AI.
Oh God.
And their AI is it's a little biased.
Shaky.
It's a little janky, a little biased. It's a little. It's not. I've used it. It's also just not as good.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, which is also biased, but it's still it's good for, simple tasks.
Yeah.
And I have the I don't have it on here, but I have the upgraded the 4.0, and that thing is it's pretty sharp.
I need to get into it a little bit, huh?
I mean, there's so much you can do with it. So I mean, especially once you go down the rabbit hole, I haven't completely done it, but I have friends who have made their own all kinds of systems and all kinds of shit off of AI. And I'm when they're explaining it to you, it still sounds complicated, but what they're doing, if you look at the practice, you're oh no, you just understand code, but then this is also just giving you code. So you can literally be hey, look at this website. What's the code on it? Okay, take this code, make it look more like Nike. You can talk to it like that. Yeah.
because I have a coworker on this tour I'm on who's actually really into the Chat GPT, the AI thing, and I've actually had several conversations with him, and I actually think it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can like let's say a person like you, right? You super busy, and you have to make a calendar. I was having this conversation with him. If I was to use AI for something like that, I would tell AI to take all of my schedules from wherever I have to take them from. Because right now I'm either looking at a calendar, looking at an app, looking at whatever,
Right.
email, just to make sure I'm on point. If I could just take all of that, plug it into the Chat GPT, it creates a calendar for me and lets me know the overlapping dates when I got to find subs and stuff. When people use AI and stuff like that, it's like, okay, cool.
So that's what's gonna happen with the iPhone 16.
What?
You're gonna have ChatGPT on your phone.
Really?
Yes. And then when you have ChatGPT on your phone, it's gonna be able to link through emails and text to do all of that, which is amazing.
I actually like that.
That's beautiful. But
I know a but was coming.
I mean, where's all that going, right?
Right.
Not saying they're
Where's
not.
all the information going?
Not
right.
saying that they already don't have it. Not saying that they already don't. Your internet provider can see all your stuff. It doesn't really matter. But where's all that going? Especially when it's in your phone, you don't have to. It's in. Your iPhone's always listening anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It's
like
It's crazy, and also it's like OpenAI, ChatGPT. Like, it's funny because this is the first time Apple even is working with somebody who's out of there, because they tried, and apparently they couldn't come up with something that was better than ChatGPT. So they were like, let's just have them come on to our platform.
I figured that would
But the issue is, so they're like, they claim that nothing on the phone can be extracted. That's how they've built it, like a fail safe. Nothing on the phone can be extracted, but ChatGPT will run behind. Basically, they're trying to say like, oh, it's not like in your phone, like so. Like we still secure your data, but at the same time, it's like, but this thing is still reading my data. So how's that? And how long have they been around to be this trusted?
I think it's bullshit. Now that you put it like that, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like with everything that's invented, there's somebody around trying to hack it. Somebody's going to hack that shit.
Right.
And then you're going to see on the news a breach to ChatGPT, Apple. History is going to repeat itself, right?
Exactly.
So I might just have to stay where I'm at.
Yeah, I might just stay. The 15 might be the one you want to chill with for a while if you got a 15 year.
That's usually what I do, though. I usually stay at least one or two behind.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah. Until it's like, okay, now I gotta really upgrade my phone.
That's where I'm at. I gotta really upgrade, but I like having an 11 Max Pro.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. but I like having that because I go to the gym. If I get in the sauna, I can take my phone with me. Like this thing is fail proof. I keep it in an outer box. I don't really care. It is starting to do that run slow shit and all that kind of. But overall, I like the fact that I'm not worried about my phone to an extent. Yeah. Like there's certain things I wouldn't do with a brand new phone. But now that this is what it is, it's like, okay, whatever.
I mean, and you save money.
They
all do the same thing for the most part. Take pictures. Call people. Text.
Were you able to text me today?
Yeah.
I think
your
we're
messages
okay.
are blue.
Yo, if they were green, that'd be a problem. But since they're blue, I guess, yeah, we cool.
Oh, man, you know what? I actually think I remember my first iPhone now. Now that we had that blue-green conversation.
Yeah.
My first iPhone that I ever had was freshman year of college.
Okay.
When I was able to
Do you had a 3G, 4?
I think I had a 3G.
The 3G was like the little oval shaped joint. You had the white one or black one?
I always used to get black, so probably black. I remember, because I remember a friend in college of mine, he was texting me. He was just giving me shit. He was like, man, you got these green. And I didn't have I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
did you ever have a chocolate?
A chocolate?
The LG chocolate? It was like the phone that kind of like went up. Hold on, let me see. Continue your story, though.
But he was just giving me so much shit about not having this freaking iPhone, and I ended up I did.
I thought you. I'm looking at you. I'm like, this nigga definitely had this song.
I had something like this for sure.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
because I had like an LG rant. I remember one. Look up the. I think it was like one called like a rant or something.
Rant. LG
Yeah,
Rant?
Samsung or maybe a Samsung rant. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was my shit. I had that with Sprint.
Yeah, you was able to type it. That's
Like the
hilarious.
sidekick. I used to always wanted a sidekick back in the day too.
Bro, I
You remember
still
that?
got my side.
You got a sidekick? Please go get that sidekick. You got it for real?
Yes, hold on. I'm about to go grab it.
Oh shit.
Oh, by the way, too.
Oh man, what?
That one don't turn on, though.
This one turns on though?
Yeah.
You got Poke. I actually had this game. I'm about to be on here playing. Yo, you crazy for having this. I'm about to really be on your podcast playing them.
So, now,
What are you doing with this?
you tell me.
I can't even see the screen.
Did you want the sidekick 1?
Bro, you funny as hell.
Or you wanted the sidekick 2?
Oh my! I think it was a sidekick too. I remember seeing it on like a TV show or whatever.
My keys went out on that one.
I think it was like a Disney show. I was like, man, I want one of these. You funny as hell. Why do you have this?
I keep all my nostalgia.
Oh
Nigga,
my
you see my
goodness.
PlayStation back here, my N64,
Yeah.
50 cent
Yeah, I
bulletproof.
peeped those, but though, you know, I'm a gamer, so it's like, all right, that's cool to have, but I didn't know you went like this crazy, bro.
I
Like,
mean, now do you get what I'm saying? I would just pay and have every iPhone and be
yeah,
like,
you
that's my iPhone.
yeah, you one of those.
I am one of those. Oh, this is my iPhone room.
This is crazy. You know, I remember this thick ass app. You remember LimeWire, FrostWire?
Of course.
That's where I used to get all my music from.
Bro, LimeWire was the GOAT. Bro, this iPod right here is actually this one actually still works, but it's not charged. But this one actually,
Let me see that
this was hold on real quick, 80 gigs. So you know
80
this
gigs
was
used to
like
be
what,
a lot.
a lot, bro. And so that one actually has man, there's so much music on there. It's probably from LimeWire.
Damn. Yeah, I remember. I used to be so upset that the back gets scratched up and everything.
Yep.
I used to want the back to stay so clean, and then
Then they
just
started
became one
making
of those things,
cases.
right?
Yeah.
I really remember having that the iPod Touch.
Yeah, that looked like the first iPhone, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I remember because back in I think it's at one point. I'm trying to think. I remember walking around with a fucking iPod Touch and an iPhone.
Oh, so you look like yours.
But like after a while, because I don't think music was on the phones yet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because well, if you had an iPhone, you always could put music on your iPhone, but it probably wasn't that much because you probably only got like the 16 or the 8 gig. Right. So you was like,
Yeah.
nah, this ain't gonna hold all my music. So you had to,
I remember that. Yeah.
Because
I
now
remember
it's
that.
like all of a sudden we need 100-something gig iPhones, but prior it seemed like we
Yeah.
only needed 5 to 8 gigs.
I remember having like maybe a 4 gig iPhone. I think
Did they make a 4 gig? Let me see. What,
I remember maybe 8. I feel like it was.
what gig?
I don't think 8 was always the top. Because you know back in the day, gigs was like 1 gigabyte was like, damn, I got 1 gig. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Like, damn, 16. I didn't even know we can go up to 32.
Bruh, and now we at terabytes.
Bruh.
Okay, so the
Terabyte's not even enough.
no, it's listen, all these episodes and stuff. No. On July 2008, Apple released the iPhone 3G across 22 countries. It was released with 2 storage options, 8 gigs and 16 gigs.
Okay.
So the 16 gig model was produced in either white or black.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's
Damn.
So 16 you were balling.
You are a goat for this one.
Thank you.
The fucking, I remember the fucking Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I got that too. I really do. I really have my Game Boy Advance. When we're
Bruh.
done, I gotta show
I'm not asking you to pull out anything else because I know you got it.
I got my Dreamcast out there too.
Yo, that's one.
Yeah,
That's
and I
one.
have NBA 2K and NFL 2K.
Wait, the original,
Oh,
the original 2K.
yeah, the OG 2K with
I
Allen
remember-
Iverson on the front.
I remember when that first NFL 2K came out.
Randy Moss.
It was actually at one point better than Madden.
It was a very hard game though. Like when you played the computer, it was very hard. But yes, it was less arcade than Madden. It was more football than Madden.
And I don't know what happened to him.
Well, 2K Sports lost the licensing to keep making football games. Technically, the Dreamcast is kind of a failed system, even though I liked it. But then they took the platform and then they said, okay, well, we can still make games. And so they took basketball and they ran with it. They bodied live.
Y'all, they had to get their get back.
Oh, yeah, and they did beautifully. And then they also have PGA 2K23 with Tiger on the front of it. Then they have they tried to come back to football, and I think 1 year, and I think it's some deal was like licensing for. Now Madden just has it extensively until a certain date.
I think if 2K makes football, I like in this day and age, I think it'd be better than Madden.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, man, that NCAA though. Woo!
I got it,
bro. Oh, I be playing that. That
you got PlayStation?
Not Xbox.
Yeah, we still got it. I just was PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be an Xbox guy.
When we done, we playing the game, bro. Who you play with?
I don't look. So I haven't even had time to play the game. The only thing I've done on there is made like my player.
Oh, okay.
In college.
Okay.
That's actually one thing I really like to do when I played those games. Like when Madden first made, I think it might have been 07, they had made the My Player, and then you had the third person view.
Right.
And then they took it away, and I was like, you motherfuckers.
But now you can create your college My Player, and then you could take them over to Madden and make them do the combines and shit and get signed to a team and then take it there.
I haven't played like a full game of football on a game in a while. In a minute. Yeah.
I didn't until, bro. And
how much time is? We might have to go ahead and knock the game out, man.
Oh man, bro. Sounds like we got to go do this.
Yeah. I mean,
but listen? We'll close it out. What you got going next, man? What are you excited to do next?
For like the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Man, I actually have a pretty big year, right? You ever heard of Yeet?
Yeah.
I do monitors and playback for Yeet.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's.
Who are some of the artists you work with? Just a quick little flex. I'm sure.
I've worked with Kaylani, was just with her recently.
Dope.
Future, G-Eazy's where I got my start at. I still work with G. Jasmine Sullivan. Damn, I'm blanking right now. Uzi. I've even did like Keith Sweat, Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh, that's fire.
Like, man, it's actually kind of nuts to think about. I've actually worked with a lot of big people.
That's cool.
It was actually, and it just keeps happening, right? It's a blessing, bro. Like, that's all it boils down to.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing journey, and it still feels like I'm just getting started. Like my name is just now going into circles. Like Esports was a different experience.
Right. And then that opens up other doors.
Yeah.
People go, oh, hey. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for my big stadium tour opportunity.
Right.
You know, like Taylor Swift or some Beyonce, you know.
Yeah. That's different.
Beyonce called me, man. Look, I don't give a fuck what I got going on this year. Everything canceled.
I got somewhere to be.
Yeah. The queen is called.
Here I come, queen.
Yeah, I'm just, just waiting for those, just working. I'm still producing, still trying to get. I remember back in the day we was talking about me trying to get placements.
Yeah.
I've gotten placed, and I've started to learn about the music industry and how, yes, it's great to get a placement, but the placement doesn't necessarily have to come out.
And that hurts.
Yeah. And it could be so. And then he go crazy to get a placement, and then it's like, man, you see the music they putting out. And it's like, man.
No, bro. That was one of the things that started hindering me with making beats. It was like, listen, okay, first off, what I'm supposed to just make like 300 of these a day, and then
not pay me,
and then I'm just supposed to just send packs to all these people, and then after all of that,
it's bullshit.
You might just never put the shit out, or I'm over here trying to make stuff, and your A&R is saying, yeah, this ain't really hidden like this, or we want something a little more like this. And then you drop a record within this time, and I hear what you're making, and I'm like, but this
trash.
And I'm like, maybe I'm just hating. And then I'm like, oh no, it's also not working. So what's going on here? This is a silly game. Like what, and that's what pushed me into more so like being like, hey, I kind of would like to make content that I can always use.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, I can use it.
Exactly.
Even auditions and shit like that, even to an extent, sometimes you'd be like, man, killed that audition.
Mm-hmm.
But, you're not supposed to post it anywhere. Or you're not supposed to. So it's like, oh, so that's
Can't
just.
use that content.
Can't use that content.
Right.
I mean, you can find ways to chop it up and do it, but that's another thing. But, it's just that thought process, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, if I'm going to be doing something, I got to be doing something. Now, you give me, that's why I like the sync world. Because sometimes they'd be
That's
like,
what I was just about to say.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm trying to get into the sync world.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll give you like even like demo fees. So it's like, hey, we got $250 for you if you could, or $500 for you if you could give us a copy or give us something that's like this.
Yeah.
And then you do that, and it's like, okay, so I got paid something to try, and then hopefully I get the job, and then I will actually get paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it's a better.
That's actually the route I want to go. I've been trying to get into the sync world, because music is just so stupid to me. Like,
bro,
like the whole game is just.
No, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous game.
Then don't sample. I've actually had to like clear samples and was prepared to like drop the money on Sony and Warner. They was planning on email, planning in my lawyer's face. Oh yeah, we're sending documents. Sony sent it, but Warner didn't. And I can't clear it if they're not answering the email back, and they're not gonna send a document that they need to send me so we can sign the agreement. The process just stops there. And if they're not responding to emails, it's like, all right, cool, whatever.
Yeah, and that's how all people in music responding to emails is like. It's just like, oh well, I guess they ain't get to. There's not that much work being done. No one's doing anything. No. Like, let's just be completely honest. Like, I've had multiple friends who've worked at labels. Like, I get it. You guys are planning, like, marketing pushes, and you're planning, meet and greets and shit. But you guys aren't really doing anything. Like, it's a very listen. I'm gonna be real with you. All that calendar shit you said. Yeah. AI is gonna take out half of every fucking record company's employee staff sheet for sure, no question. Just like it's gonna do in Hollywood, just like it's gonna do in anything that doesn't necessarily need to be manned, or womaned.
Even,
what I mean?
Even like the hospitality industry as well. Like they got machines making drinks now.
Oh right. And that would make so much more sense. You know why? So you don't over pour for your friend. But machine ain't got no friends.
But it takes, it takes away. Who doesn't want to have a conversation with the bartender?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
Elon's building those robots so they could converse back. How are you today, Lamar?
Get the fuck out of here.
Nigga.
Like, in the world we in right now, these niggas doing too much. Like,
they're trying to cut cost, right? And that's the name of the game. Cut cost. And no matter, we're growing very quickly, and we're moving very fast in one direction, and everyone wants to show growth on their spreadsheet or their stock or on there. So it's all about growth, and no one's thinking, okay, so when it's too big and then everything has to falter. No one's worried about that, because as long as we can keep the thing going, it's okay.
Right.
So, you're right. I mean, what are we going to do when we have all these human beings who technology does their job? So how will they be? Okay, so universal basic income, that's what we're going to do. Something like that, right? Yeah. Like that. And then what is that? Okay, so now meaning's gone? Now it's a fucking Wall-E.
It's an interesting world we live in, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of sad, because it makes me think, like, if we bring it back to like the creators and people that work in the music industries, the film industries, what's going to happen to our jobs if they find a way to not need an audio engineer?
All right.
Oh, what the hell?
And that's my point. And then it gives you, it's like, okay, so what is my because even if it's somebody whose purpose is to make music, because that is a thing, well, what is your purpose now if AI is making the music?
And you can even make music easily on these new online sites. Like, you don't even need Ableton,
right?
You know what I mean?
And that's
like,
how you've lowered, but since you've lowered the skill level, you've lowered the price people will pay.
yeah.
And that is, even with making beats, what was one of the things that made me like, damn, all right. Because I started realizing, I was like, there was a time where it was like, no, he got one of these. He got an MPC, or he got, the blah, 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 or he got the synths. And then he knows how to use those really well. And then he would make this, or he's musical jig. But when everybody, it was one thing when everybody had a computer and could get FL.
Yeah.
Okay. But then now you're taking it, like you said, now it's like, okay, no, don't learn a DAW. Like, you can just do it online. It's like it's the garage band effect. And so now everybody, so I get it, but the problem is now, okay, well, if there's 1 million people who can do it, then I won't pay people as much. There's too much diversity in the market. And
then what makes the difference with that, right, is the quality now, right? Mm-hmm. Since everybody does it, and you paying now we have to adjust our prices, right? So, this person's charging $25 to do this,
right?
But the product is shit, and now it's like, I see why you're charging $200,
right?
Right? But people have to make that mistake first. Perfect example. I was on a Boogie tour, and I was trying to tell the homies, like, yo, man, we stopping in Chicago. Let me know if you need nothing. Need something. Weed, food suggestions, haircuts.
right.
I'm like, I know a really good barber. He charges how much would he? I think it was about $75, $80. Or
and they used
like
to paying way more than that.
No, actually, I think it was I think he charged. I think I paid $60 for a haircut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Chicago. It was
that's reasonable.
really good. I think it's 75. 75.
75.
I think it's about 75.
Yeah.
And all these guys coming from New York, they're like, man, that costs too much, man. I'm like, what?
How much do their haircuts cost in New York?
Here go the killer part. Once he hit his point, so he got his haircut. He went to some barber. I guess somebody else suggested the guy. Guess how much a haircut costs?
$20.
No.
30.
You won't even guess it.
100.
90.
And it was trash, wasn't it?
Oh, it was shit. He was pissed. And all I did was laugh at his ass so hard.
Because, like, why would you do that? Why would you go somewhere else that's more expensive and that's not necessarily vouched for?
Motherfucker, I'm from Chicago and I'm black.
I know where to get you a good haircut.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's
stop playing. Yeah, so people have to go through that. They have to go through that make that mistake.
Yeah. In
order to know, okay. But if AI can just give you that, then where that's gonna leave us? We can still tell the difference between a good product and a bad product on the human side of things. But what happens when AI is just giving us good products? Then I guess does that price just still go down, or do we pay AI?
The problem will be I feel like the diversity in the market. There won't be any it'll be one product that always wins. It's almost like now
like
it's like Apple, Amazon. Like at some point you gotta think, will Walmart and Target be absorbed by Amazon, or will they blink up and where you have like half Amazon in real store and so it's coming.
Yeah,
you can't seriously tell me that like in the next 20 years Target won't be feeling it. They're already feeling it, but I'm saying like shit, even 10.
Yeah,
like come on.
Those stores are only around still because we can get our essentials immediately. That's the only reason. But if there's a way that Amazon can figure out
drone drop-offs, come on, the Postmates, I get the fucking little bot that just pulls up and
if it comes same-day delivery, that's where Walgreens, Walmart, Target,
that's where they're going.
Even if, let's say if they even add like a pharmaceutical to Amazon Pharmacy.
Oh, you don't think they thought of that? I never thought of that, but you're right. They definitely thought of that.
They probably already working on it.
They already have the patents. It's just they're waiting for Congress. They're waiting to see who's going to be president.
You know, I was gonna ask you about that earlier too. When we was talking about black jobs. Did you see the DNC?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the whole DNC. And what was messed up, I actually got called to work that in 3 different directions, and I couldn't do it because I wasn't gonna be home.
Oh, really?
I was so
Damn,
salty.
that's crazy.
Because prior to this year, I mean, I wasn't. I've never been a real person of politics really in it. Yeah. I really only paid attention. I mean, in the main points, George Bush and 9/11, Obama, Trump, like
right.
I've kept my nose in it enough to understand what's going on, but not enough to be like, But now this year, this year's been like a reality TV show.
Oh no! Well, see, that's one thing. If you have Trump involved, it's always going to be semantics, and that's what I learned in the last election and the one that he actually won. I think that it's well, what's the question?
I forgot. Go ahead.
No, I think it's an important election in a lot of regards, but I also feel like it feels like the whole party system that we've been taught our entire lives has kind of flipped.
Yeah.
And I won't say like flipped like completely left or completely right. It just feels more like it seems like the blue side's more about controlling and like your information, what was the other thing? Wait. Controlling information, controlling you, more a bit more warmongering, and the right is just so segregated in so many different ways now, because you got Republicans who are just like old school regular Republicans, then you got like far right Republicans, just like the left. There's not a whole like bunch of people in like this is the middle, I'm just like I'm over here, like no, it's like far left, and it just feels like a lot of the values are shifting in a lot of ways, other than the main things like female abortions, like there's like the old school things that each side has, whatever, but like I just don't see it as being like as liberal as it claims to be.
It's kind of weird, right? It's certain things where you're like, damn, it makes sense to be Republican, it makes sense to be Democrat, but it doesn't fully always feel like it's right to be. Does that make sense?
No, I know what you mean. I'm trying
to be careful how I speak about this.
I think this is what it is. I think what you're saying, you feel it's just I feel the overall governmental stance is a suppression on common sense, and that's more of what it is. Where you sit there and you go, "Hey, I know that I should probably feel this way, but something doesn't sit right with me." Well, no, like you're not allowed to explore that, and that's my issue with basically both sides. Because one side is just a very, very charismatic guy he has done the job before, but like realistically, we know he's not a politician. Good businessman, you could give him that.
And it's to that point when I was like, because when he was in office, business for a lot of small business owners,
and we weren't in war.
Yeah,
like it wasn't the worst of things. And then on the other side, it's like I get it, prosecutor.
Probably going to war.
Also, it's just that's we're already in. How many proxy wars? You got Ukraine.
I was having this conversation the other day. There's so many wars right now.
There's so many wars,
and it's even wars that are going on that we don't even like. If somebody brought a war, I forgot what was going on, but it was a whole nother war that was happening.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it Syria or something? There's somewhere else something's going on.
There's conflict all over,
and there's about to be a conflict with Taiwan and China as well, probably depending on who's the. It's a lot, and it's just you got the military industrial complex, and they want to make their money. So who's really leaning into that? And I think both sides would lean into that. Also, why are there only two sides?
Russia was at our doorstep the other day, maybe a few months ago.
With that ship over by Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, what y'all doing over here?
Well, you know why? Because that would be like, could you imagine that you just see me. I publicly tell people, hey, so yeah, I'm not gonna go to Lamar's house, but I'm gonna supply this guy with a whole bunch of rocks to throw at it.
That's almost like 50 Cent buying all the Ja Rule's concert tickets.
There you go. It's
I'm
that.
gonna throw you.
Like what? Like what are you talking about? Like so you're gonna keep giving Ukraine stuff, and then after you give them that stuff, they're gonna use that stuff on me, and then I'm supposed to just be like, oh well, I have no fault with you. You're not the one firing the stuff. You see what I'm getting at?
And you know, it took me a little minute, and was still trying to wrap my head around it. That Ukraine war is deeper than land. It's
deeper than it's a lot of be careful because YouTube,
yeah.
But yeah.
I was like when all the protests and everything was going on, I was just like, which side's wrong, which side's right. And I don't even want to get into any of that because this is not my lane. But
you also went to. But here's what you did that a lot of Americans don't do. You went and you read up on things, and then you formed your own conclusion, which is fair. Like that's also why I'm moderate. Like I just think it's like I think the person who's willing to do the job and who has the best ideas should win. And I think if both people don't really have great ideas, there should be new people brought. Or maybe it's not just 2 people, maybe it's 4 people, or maybe you give other people a real shot, right? So then it turns into, okay, a debate stage with these 6 people. Oh, well, those 2 are competent. How about we go with those 2?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's a different, but going back to what you're saying, yeah, a lot of people don't do that. They just go, okay, what does my side feel? And let me go get a flag bumper sticker. and that's that, bro.
And it's stuff like that, and it's like, that has, not to say it doesn't have anything to do with me.
Yeah.
Not to sound like I don't care, but I do care. But it's also one of those things where it's like, it's not a conflict that I fully understand. It's also not a conflict that doesn't involve me. I think I should just mind my business.
And you know what's the craziest thing? And you know who else actually should feel that way?
Who?
America.
Yeah. That was my next point. Why are we even supplying? we putting our nose in business we don't need a war.
we're good right now.
We don't need a war. We're barely making it now.
No, because there's natural resources over there, so we gotta go over there and go check them out. And and also Putin. It's that. It's things ain't been right with them people since the Soviet Union. And America's always been, hands off. He's not NATO. There's a whole lot of things going on. Like it's just
the same shit.
But it's the same shit because guess what? It's the same people. It's the same, bro. From all these places that work underneath the people you elect in the shady space. The reasons why we can freely do a podcast here and laugh and not be worried about some invasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. Those people don't get elected or they don't change their job every 2-3 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're talking about like these people are there.
Yeah.
The J. Edgar Hoovers of the world, they are there for I've been with the agency for 25, 35, 40, especially the directors and the high up people. They don't want to tell new people secrets. No.
That shit's in the house.
You die here. Or you go over to one of these companies where, they need somebody like us in them. You go over there.
Yeah, man. It's a very dark world over there.
It's a dark world.
I just like to, stay in the music and put on concerts.
And that's all I want to do. That's it.
And I try to live a fairy tale life and be happy and shit, but, you have to pay attention to what's going on. And sometimes it feels like the shit doesn't hit me until I get back to the crib. Because now I got time to sit down, look at stuff, and now I have to pay attention. Like versus me being in a different city every day. I don't have time to do shit, but what I'm here to do.
What you here to do?
And I go to sleep, watch a movie. Oh shit, this music drop. Like last time I heard music really busting like that, like music dropping, the world stopped, was the Kendrick and
right. Everything
Drake
else has been so passive.
Yeah. But I try to stay out of that, man. It's depressing.
No, yeah. If you actually are a person who cares and you pay attention, yeah, it is. Yeah. And on top of that, then you can feel very much like, what can I do? My thing is, I just like knowing what's going on, so I can, even when I do stuff like this, it's like, I can. I can form an opinion based on the facts I know, and if there's some facts I don't know, I want to know them. I don't, my opinion on anything is only subject to facts, and if you give me some facts to change that, damn, so be it. Well, apparently I was wrong, but most of the time I've realized, like, just if one person goes, "What's that about?" and Googles it, I'm like, good. Okay, so now you care to just one step in the right direction. And I know it's generally more people who look like me who are listening than, you feel me? So it's like they might not go turn on, Rachel Maddow or, or Don Lemon. God forbid, don't turn on Don Lemon. But just in general, there's somebody who's like, hey, you should look into some things, regardless of how I feel about it. Yeah. You should look into it too. Yeah. But all right, let's get this Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
And we out, y'all. Peace.
All right, man.